beautifully ignited souls. We are ready to dig in deep once more. I hope you've got your fork, spoon, knife, whatever it is, because we are going to dig in and have this deliciousness of spiritual food for all evolution, for all ability to create and to create man in our image after our likeness. Now, if you have come across some of my notes, you, I hope you're not taking this, well, I was going to say like literal, but perhaps, well, it wouldn't be a bad thing either to take it literal about creating man in our image and likeness or after our likeness. If you are joining us for the first time, this is where we delve into numerology and scriptures, and of course, with everything that is happening around us. So, this is to really help us to understand how to navigate ourselves in these times. Now, I have just posted, I would like to say we have just posted, because I am now really with the fortune gods that ignite us, that dwells in you too, whether you acknowledge the gods or not. But it's fortune gods of Genesis and the verbatim gods, we could say. I hope I'm saying this right, meaning I am using their characteristics or functions in the very same way that they have been stated in the Bible. Now, I believe that it must have been a cunning way of doing that. Perhaps it was really Mother Eve's way of sieving her wisdom, because the snake or the serpent, it is always said that it was the wisest of all creatures. In the garden, it was the wisest. The garden is number 31. If you have come across number 31 through my through our videos or wisdom, you will see the number 31, and it's really like a cycle. It's like the month, it's like the mouth, and if it encapsulates it, um, almost devours, it swallows anything that represents that, because it is also the number four. So the number four, of course, is the number that forms the foundation. So, if you know anything about building, for instance, when one is building a house or a structure, for instance, they dig the foundation. They don't just place things on the ground and say, okay, they're going to erect a 20-story building. No, they dig in. They dig and drill the grounds very deep, and the stronger they want this foundation is, the digger they dig, like we are digging now, of course, to be able to build something of structure. And that is what is happening. Now, I'm right now in 2020, because 2 plus 2 is 4. And this is why we have all this chaos, really left, right, and center, so to speak, which is our north, south, east, and west. Of course, this comes to 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. So we are having all this on every corner. Now, the purpose of this video really is to look at, in terms of all of the big five that I have been doing videos on, to really see how we can map out our or navigate our progress through the structures that they have built, or may need to erect some, or may need to destroy some. Who knows? Because things are being turned upside down. Now, back to why I think as well, because Mother Eve, as I said, through the scriptures, had been showing the gods, because I feel that it is because I have certain numerical values that match perfectly with Mother Eve, yes, the serpent, that I have been able to really delve in deep, like underground and up again to the tree, just like the serpent was cast out of the garden, but of course, or to the ground, on to the far east of the garden, east of course, is number 9. Going to the Far East is that it has birthed everything and starting all over again. It is beginning. 9 is beginning. Okay, so back to the verbatim gods here, 14 gods that form the Genesis, because it actually is Genesis. We have done all these wonderful workouts or numerical values here, and we have seen some tremendous revelations. Please have a look at those videos that we have done, rather, because we have done to really show that the big 5 religions are not separate. They are like fingers that form the hand. So, for instance, if you were to hold a pen, this is it. If you were to hold a pen to write, you probably have these 2 fingers, not probably, most people do. They are pointing forward, but they're not necessarily touching each other. They are in communion, working to write a document, just like Mother Eve was writing the contracts. So, this is why each god perhaps had this notion or belief that it's operating by itself, but no, it had this part, it has this platform, it has this setting. The fingers are set on this platform to create. And this is what we are called to do right now. Why do I know this? Because not just, well, several reasons, but because I ask for wisdom. One, because I also have a life path number 8, which we are on an 8th cycle, and um, all the videos I would think, or the past videos that I've done for the past year or so, have reflected this number 8, which is like 20. So if you did the numerical value for the word 8 here, you would have 31. And of course, 31 is 4. Now, remember I was speaking about 4 is about foundation, where we are digging in deep. We are digging in deep because we are creating a firm foundation, or we want to create a firm foundation. And so we have 8 as the set God. The set God is setting a foundation. So you can see the relationship with 4. Let's go here, because it's like I'm getting the picture. We were always told that when we are creating or wanting to create something, it's good to have the visual aspect of what it is you want to achieve. So you create that, all the specifications that you desire, and then you work backward. So basically, what I will be investigating in the next series of these is how we are working backward here in these numbers, because these are the ultimate numbers that corresponds to each of the 5 gods. I mean the big 5 religions. And of course, each god of the 14 gods too. So what we discovered, we had 3 gods that work directly with with Christianity, and that came to 666. I'm just going through that. We also had the same 3 gods working with Islam. Now that really gave me the perfect vision of the analogy of writing with the pen that I have spoken. So God wants things to happen. And Christianity and Islam, they may think that they are very far apart. However, when it comes to acting and putting things into motion, they come together and they hold the pen together. They are like this, holding the pen. Of course, the other ring finger or middle finger is supportive, because it is supporting here, which I haven't been able to tell you which one it is of the 5 of the big 5. But this is what is happening. And because they are working together, they do not realize that there is that space between them here. And they think that they are doing all the work by themselves. And so they do not recognize the other person or the other side really doing as much as they are. Basically, when things don't go really right, of course, they blame each other because they are mirroring each other. Mirroring each other, that's what they are doing. So, this is why I believe that both Christianity and Islam are carrying this 666. This made me laugh. This was just really funny. So, I want to now um, take time and have little bite sizes. I think it is necessary for us to just go over um, little bits of these. I think they're very profound information, if I may say so, because that's how I experienced them. They were just aha moments and aha moments. The synchronicities were just happening so much. And so I feel that it is important for us to digest those information that we have posted through Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, the big five religions of the world. Okay, so for this reason, we are going to, like, of course, you can see the created gods here, the 14 gods. I want to really examine them again, and I'm working, of course, very close with with High Priest Aaron to really instruct us bit by bit on how we can actually, um, just take this apart so we can see how to navigate ourselves through this new earth. It is a new earth. It is a new people. It is a new world. Whether we want to acknowledge it or not, it's not because I am still able to recognize my face in this realm as Crime Queen that there isn't a metamorphosis happening through me, like I would say a neomorphosize, to get neomorphosized. So this is like Neo in the Matrix with Morpheus. So actually, these were not by chance that Neo actually, when it Morpheus says, because Morpheus means to morph, and so Neo actually is one. And so he says, you are the one. So basically, by him verbalizing that, he's already imprinting in Neo's mind something to think about. And that in itself is being crystallized, as we can see in the movie The Matrix. And he is like very curious to knowing and discovering, this is Neo, to discovering who he is, discovering himself, and to be able to say, I am Neo. And to say Neo means new. And to say I am that, when he really says I am Neo, he makes that statement just like Moses on Mount Sinai when he meets with God. By the way, this is another very intriguing and interesting story. According to High Priest Aaron, this is really something that we need to pay attention to, because Moses mirrored God. He met with God. This is what it means when you in the mirror you meet with yourself. When you see something that really um, erupts emotion in you, you meet with that part of yourself. So that's another thing. So Neo in the Matrix, he meets with himself, all aspects of himself. He's north, south, east, and west. Now, just to wrap up this point that I really want to make, because we are going to keep these short. Okay, so okay, we have one here. I'm just going to use this because we are talking about um, creating, and to know how to create, because it's your north, south, east, and west. So we have all these news, as I say, things we are digging in deep. And digging in deep means your north, your south, your east, and west. If we use the value for this that we use as symbols, this is 5, 10, 15, and 1 is 16. So 16, 1 plus 6 is 7, and that's creation. This is why we are always bombarded with news to, of course, help others create in their image and likeness. And now Mother Eve is asking us, calling us to learn how to create man in our image after our likeness. So Neo, Neo, was 1, which is 5, 5, 6. Adding this together is the very same 16. Of course, the same letters is 1, like O-N-E. So you can see that you are the one, whether you are in Judaism, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, or Islam, you are the one to create man in your image after your likeness. There is nothing that I have really portrayed here that does not resonate with any of these big fives. They may look like they are different, but they are not different. So the small finger is still part of the hand. The middle finger is still part of the hand. The ring finger is still part of the hand. The forefinger is still part of the hand. The thumb is still part of the hand. And they all work together to accomplishing that which Mother Eve really wants to see happen. So I leave you with this, just to something to really get like a scheme or a flavor of what we are working with on this channel. So I hope you have enjoyed this, because I feel it is important for us to just look at this. Look at, it reminds me of a song, to look at the sacrifice template, or the big five, or all the other aspect, our north, south, east, and west, because no matter where we look, there is something happening. So do join me again. And of course, please leave your comments, likes, and subscribe, and share this video, because this is what we need right now to be able to navigate in these new times. Stay ignited.